So this is just, as you can see, a beautiful little walk around. I think it's called Black Water. Let's check that out. It runs through Dungannon, which is a town here in Northern Ireland. Very peaceful, very serene. Lots of foliage and different paths to take. Very eye-catching. And obviously I haven't met anyone along the way. I've seen the occasional walker, but I haven't actually bumped into anyone. Actually, I'm a liar. I did meet one person up around kind of lagoon or abandoned quarry. There was a guy taking photos on his SLR camera. So it was a really nice spot, and I went in to take a few pictures myself. And turns out the guy is a Amazon delivery driver. Who had just finished his shift and was actually doing something similar to me, looking for somewhere to go to take a few pictures. So it's just once again it's just amazing that being in nature somewhere like this really does detoxify you. Really does free you from the shackles of modern life and the hecticness of it. Really peaceful. I actually wanted to do a talk while I was up here, but unfortunately my data connection or the cell quality, phone quality, network quality really isn't great. I can't get any data, so just thought I'd record this instead. As I said, just a picturesque, really peaceful, beautiful little spot. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to talk about well, I suppose I can talk about the benefits of nature. I've just talked about it in other formats, in other media. So I'm assuming that at some stage I'm going to publish this video onto YouTube. I guess potentially people might kind of wonder how on earth is taking a walk spiritual, but it's really nothing to do with spirituality or thing, but it actually is. Nature is a natural environment. You look at everything within nature, look at the ecosystem that's in place, how everything depends upon one another. We've got this river which supports so many different life forms, fish, insects, snails, frogs, all those sort of things. It also provides nourishment to the trees and foliage growing beside it and on it. Without the water, the trees could not flourish and survive, the plants. The trees provide oxygen, life-giving oxygen to us humans that we breathe. The flowers are able to bloom. Insects such as bees pollinate flowers by spreading the pollen from one flower to another. That's how flowers germinate. They're obviously taking the nectar from flowers to bring back to the hive, to the colony, in order to help make honey. We have the rocks, the soil. They shape the path of the river, and in turn so does the river shape the path. And the birds, owls, insects make their home in the trees and in the plants. Either by building nests from twigs, within the trees by digging a hole like a woodpecker into the tree trunk, by just sitting on the branches at the foot of them, natural hole in the tree. So everything in nature, this ecosystem, it all depends upon one another. You take one element of it out and none of the rest of them thrive. It's we as humans who are not contributing to this equilibrium, to this ecosystem. It is we who are out of balance with everything else, with our modern lifestyles, our busy, eventful days, schedules. And so we have all these stresses and strains and demands pulling at us. We've filled our lives full of stuff that we think is important to us, that we think if it doesn't get done or if it doesn't happen, then our life is at an end, but you know, it's of utmost importance. It means something. It's eventful. It determines our lives. We're surrounded by all these things that we accumulate, that we are attached to, that we have an identity to: our clothes, our house, our car, our jewellery, whatever else. And we fear the loss of these things. But when you take a walk in nature, and truly take a walk, not go out with headphones on, but take a walk, not running, jogging, not looking to do anything, but simply take in and absorb the natural world around you, you begin to feel a shift within yourself, within your personal being. You begin to feel a transformative effect. You begin to realise the natural way of being, the natural state of things, and you begin to realise how out of harmony that you personally and human beings are with nature. And I think this is why we see more and more people deserting the city, looking for more rural settings, why people go to extremes and live in extremely rural places, or what might be considered wilderness or deserted islands. As you feel the pull, you feel the call of nature, it's showing you the natural way to be. It's showing you that once you're out here in this, that all those things that make up your life, that you have an identity to, that you have attachments with, really do not matter in the long scheme of things. It's only when we're surrounded by that that we fear the loss of them, fear the loss of attachment. But ultimately, they don't actually represent us. They're not us. It's just that we've forgotten it because our modern lifestyle and our current, certainly in the certainly in major towns and cities, we. What's the point I was trying to make? Yeah, we've lost that, and so getting back in touch in nature is showing you exactly the way that you're meant to be. You're meant to be in harmony. You're meant to be in flow with everything. And all these things, as I said, that we've surrounded ourselves with in our modern world and modern environment are really not that meaningful. They're only material things. They're not lasting. They'll eventually crumble and die. Well, they'll not die, but they'll eventually crumble away. They'll eventually deteriorate, degrade. A bit like our bodies. we obviously have an attachment to our bodies. We have a massive attachment to our bodies. We identify so much with the body, because it's all that we're used to, because we haven't really been taught to think any differently. Sure, our religions teach us that there's a hereafter. Most of them do anyway, and I guess now more than ever, we see the overarching term of spirituality, and I use that term as an umbrella term to encompass paganism, spiritual, a more kind of spiritual religious approach to looking at things, to religious philosophies or spiritual philosophies, to New Agers, to shamanism, to anyone who follows a particular doctrine or creed. For myself, to be a student of the law of one, to try to follow that path, to even lead a heart-based life. All those things could be considered spiritual. Now I can't even remember the point I was trying to make. Yeah, we're seeing now more than ever massive changes in consciousness. More and more people are waking up to this now, but it still represents, to a degree, a smaller percentage of the world's population. And so really at the end of the day, this should be taught more and more. If you're lucky enough, you may have experiences which help you identify less with your bodily form. But anyway, the point of the matter is that it's still an attachment. It's very hard to overcome that conditioning, especially when threatened in some way, when there's some sort of fear that that it ultimately doesn't matter, because it's only a temporary housing, it's only a temporary vehicle. But even that is an attachment. And so getting into nature helps loosen some of those, I don't want to say restrictions, but some of those don't even want to say patterns of behaviour, helps loosen those belief systems, those attachments, those concepts, because nature is the reflection of the world that we truly do belong to, beyond the bodily form, the light body form, shall we say, the spirit form, the higher dimensions, the higher frequencies, the higher vibration, densities, dimension, this concept of heaven, paradise, utopia, the astral plane, whatever it is, that is our true home and our true existence. And so it's a reminder of that. It is a reflection of that. And so getting in touch with nature helps you to identify more with that. It helps you remember to some degree about that. It helps you reconnect with your authentic self, with your higher self, with the portion of you that isn't incarnate, shall we say, within the physical body. And so this is why getting into nature quietens that din that we are constantly bombarded with. You know, we look at our modern way of living. We think of everything. You know, we've become addicted almost to noise. We have to keep ourselves busy, don't we? Most of us are constantly on our phone. You know, we are constantly staring at a screen. We're not connecting with people anymore. If we're not doing that, we have television on. We have our Amazon Echo, or our Alexa, some people now just call them, for news or for radio. And even if we don't have those on, we have the hum of electrical appliances. We have the noise of traffic. And even if we still don't have any of that, we are still bombarded with frequencies, with microwave frequencies, from all sorts of electromagnetic frequencies from all of our devices, all of our security equipment, all of our cell phone towers, satellite dishes, and so all of these things really can stop us and prevent us from honing in on that silence, that spiritual way of thinking that helps us reconnect to the truth of things. So once again, this is why getting out into a natural environment where, if you're lucky enough to not have those distractions around you, really does help you readjust, rebalance yourself, re-equip yourself, or reacquaint yourself with your true state of being. You can be more in alignment with your authentic self. All of the things that are constantly running around our head when we're in our environment drop away. Our worries, our fears, our stresses, they begin to drop away, and we begin to some extent to wonder why or how we let these things distract us, annoy us, panic us, worry us, make us angry. Because nature is a detox as well, a detoxification of all those things. It's almost like those things are leaving your pores and being absorbed by the natural world. Even kind of another example of all this kind of noise pollution is light pollution as well. You know, looking up at the stars is another thing that really makes us contemplate our scheme and our place within the universe, asking, is there any other life out there? You know, what's the meaning of it all? But because of our need for street lighting, it has caused, and not even street lighting, but even not just street lighting, but all of the lights that we see in a city, coming from houses, coming from stadiums, from playing pitches, whatever. They create a lot of pollution and block the natural light, or block the night sky. And it is amazing, you know, if you can get yourself somewhere, whether it's camping, motorhoming, touring, even a drive somewhere well away from lighting, and see exactly how many stars are actually visible in the sky on a clear night. It's awe-inspiring, it really is. So this is why taking a walk in nature is spiritual. It's extremely spiritual, and it's one of the most fundamental things that you can do if you don't have like a practice of meditation, or can supplement your practice of meditation, or if you don't have I suppose meditation can be done anywhere, but I like my meditations to be done with no distractions around me. I generally try to have silent meditations rather than have music on. Music is absolutely fine and can really help, but ultimately I think we need to strive for silent meditation so we can listen to that voice within, let it grow stronger. So if you don't have the opportunity to do that there, then this is why reconnecting with nature somewhere can really help you orient yourself with all those great qualities that I talked about, with all those things that are missing from our current life. So I'm going to leave it there because I'm coming out of this forest. So yeah, hopefully if you haven't heard this message before, it's useful. If you have, because I've talked about this on so many other platforms, then please excuse me. But I've been to Zenith and this is my walk over. See you soon.